guys, we got a brand new trailer for Scream 7, and I'm a little conflicted on this one because, like a lot of people, this is my favorite horror franchise, right? Like, this is how I got into slashers and whodunits and all that stuff, right? So this one, I would say, is probably had the most like controversial production, probably of any of them, right? Of any horror movie I've seen recently. Like, this is okay, so basically what happened is that in the last two movies we were introduced to a new cast, and I think everyone was generally liking the new cast and the new direction the franchise was going. And then certain world events happened, and actors made comments on those things, and I think like, I was in support of what they were saying, but the studio and whoever's in charge over there didn't like what they said, and they got kicked out of the movie basically. And this was, by the way, this was like the star, like the new Sydney, the new star of the Scream franchise was let go, and then Jenna Ortega was let go, and then Sydney was being brought back, and they had to pivot, and then they lost the writers and they lost the director, and so they basically had to completely rethink what this movie was. Like, this was literally going to be a different movie entirely. Okay, so I'm conflicted because on one hand, I think it's complete bullshit that they let Melissa, I think it's bullshit that they let her go. Especially considering the way that most people view that conflict today. I think it's even more like, wow, maybe you should have waited before you had made such a rash decision, but okay. So I think it's complete bullshit, and I hate that they did that. And part of me is like, do I even want to support this movie? Like, do I even? I don't know, like because that sucks so much. But on the other hand, like, I can't lie, like, I'm super curious as to what they're even gonna do now. And yeah, I've seen some of the casting. I know that certain people are here that their characters are not supposed to be alive, so I'm curious as to what happens there. I don't know. I'm walking into this one very cautious. So let's see if this trailer can win me over, I guess. Here we go. Let's check it out.
This is it.
Can't believe we're staying at the site.
Who is this guy? We've seen him in something.
Oh, that's so cool. It's a motion detector.
Okay. I'm guessing the guy dies.
Hello?
Hello, Sydney. Did you miss me? Nice little town you found. You and your pretty daughter. Reminds me of where we grew up.
Well, you sure know a lot about me for another asshole hiding behind a voice changer.
Oh, I'm not hiding, Sydney. Not this time.
Okay, interesting. I wonder how.
Down to the end.
I want to be a fighter, like you. If you hurt her,
I'm not going to hurt her until you're here to see it.
let's unmask this fucker.
Oh, those two are back.
Friends
That's right.
died for just being near you.
Where is my daughter? Tatum, listen to me. He's trying to find another way in. We're gonna do this together. You're gonna have to shoot him through the wall. Where? To the right of the door. Shoot him now! Do it now! Oh, you got it. He's dead.
Okay, the head,
Make
right?
sure you shoot him in the head.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm gonna burn it all down.
Mother!
This is gonna be fun.
Okay. All right. Interesting. yeah, I guess this is one way to move forward with the story because look, Sydney was not in the last one. There was a contract disagreement between her and the studio, so she wasn't in the last movie. So yeah, I guess it does make sense that if she's off somewhere else doing, she's living her life, she's lived somewhere else with her own kids, which we did hear that confirmed in the earlier movies. It makes sense then that like a killer could just go after her specifically instead of doing anything with the newer cast, right? Now, I am curious, like, because we do have the brother and sister duo. Let's see if I can find them. Because we do have the brother and sister duo in this movie. I'm curious if we're going to be saying that something happened to the other two. Let's see. There they are. Yeah. Okay, so they're still here, and I'm curious as to what that actually means, right? Because they were the core four. So with the two sisters gone, right? Like, what are they gonna say happened? Are they gonna say that they died off screen, or are they just gonna say that they're like vacationing somewhere, or they're in hiding and they're just like trying to stay out of the public? Like, I hope that they don't kill them off. Like off screen, right? I hope they don't say like, oh yeah, we got attacked again off screen and something happened. Like, you know what I mean? Like that would suck even more, because then that just closes the window completely. So I'm hoping that one day, maybe in the next one, they can kind of like, the studio can come forward and apologize, and then they bring them back, and like, that would be cool. Maybe I'm having too high hopes for something like that in the future. I don't know. But hopefully they don't like close the door on those two characters. Like they're still out there somewhere, So it's interesting that these two are back. I'm curious how they're going to be involved with this, because their entire thing, the reason they're involved in this at all, revolved around those two sisters. So with this one being so Sydney focused, I'm wondering what brings them into this, right? Because they're not related, they don't have anything to do with Sydney like on a personal level. I guess maybe they still live in town. They still live in Woodsboro, I guess. Maybe. They were going to college in New York, so I don't know why they would, but maybe they just came home for the semester or something. I don't know. That's interesting. And, look, I don't know if it's a spoiler to talk about a certain cast member that seems to have been brought back, and I think everyone's kind of thinking the same thing about a certain character that people have theorized this character would come back at some point. They supposedly died, and then like a lot of fans have been like, are they gonna bring this person back? And maybe. It definitely feels that way, like, especially because this person is like targeting Sydney specifically and like has a grudge against her, like she did something. So it's like, okay, so it's got to be one of those characters. There's only a couple of people that it could be, and it would involve bringing someone back from the dead, but that's okay. Now I will also say this, if we're gonna go ahead and swing guesses out here, something else I'll probably say is like, what if Sydney's daughter is in on it? Like, what if she's one of the killers? She helped plan this, like maybe that's too obvious of a twist. I don't know. Something else that's interesting is that we did not see any footage of Sydney's husband, which is another thing, the casting, like the production of this movie. So in the last couple of movies, they seem to confirm that Sydney has married Mark Kincaid, who was the detective in Scream 3. Like, it seemed like they got married and that's who she's living with. However, they could not get him back because of a scheduling conflict, and so they hired, I forget, is it Joel McHale, or I think it's the guy from Community. I don't know. They hired him to be her husband, and I don't entirely know if that means that she got remarried to a different guy, and they're going to say that, or if he's just supposed to be that same character who he looks nothing like, and we're supposed to just whatever, let it go, I guess, which it wouldn't be the biggest deal, but it sucks when production stuff like this happens. And that's what I mean. Like, not only did the production of this cause us like small little things like that, which like a potential recasting of someone who doesn't look anything like the character they're supposed to be, but also like, we had to completely rewrite this thing from scratch and redo the whole concept because but the two stars of the last couple of movies are gone. So yeah, I don't know. I think overall, like, look, I'm never gonna like discount a Scream movie. I'm never gonna be like, oh, this one's gonna suck, right? Like, they always tend to find clever ways to do this, especially because I think is it Kevin Williamson? I think that's his name. He's the guy who screen wrote the first couple movies, like the first two, and I think he's directing this one. So like, you know, like we got someone who was there from the beginning, personally, like on top of this project, right? So like that does definitely help me. Like, okay, I'm not like lost hope on this movie or anything like that. You know, like there is someone there who still very much cares for this franchise. So yeah, it's interesting that it's, you know, obviously it's always been like a personal revenge story, but it's more like someone's targeting her at her house. You know, she's not like it's not someone who's trying to reenact a movie, or someone who's trying to get revenge because her mom did something, or anything like that. It's just like, oh, you wronged me in the past, I'm coming after just you. Like, I'm not trying to stage this up or film it or do any, like, it doesn't feel like any of that, you know. Like in the past they always had like some grand theatrical plan where like, I'm filming this to create my legacy, that way they'll make a movie of this one day or something like that. This just seems like straight up revenge. Like, that's what this seems like. So that's interesting. Sorry, I was gonna say, is this, let me see. There we go. Is this the husband here? I think that's him, Joel McHale. Yeah. So this is, I believe, Sydney's current husband. He's a cop, looks like. Now, Detective Kincaid was a detective. Like, he didn't wear like this cop uniform, right? Like, he was. So I'm guessing that this is not meant to be Kincaid. I'm guessing, like, this is a new character. She got remarried. That's what I'm thinking happened. Which, you know, that happens, right? Like, we haven't been following Sydney this for a while. Like, it feels like the last couple of movies, she kind of just shows up as a cameo, and we get like hints at her life, but we don't fully get the story. Like, this is the first time we see her kids, or kid. You know, we did see her pushing a baby stroller, I think in 7, or no, not 7. Sorry, 5. Yeah, in 5, I believe she was pushing a baby stroller. So I don't think that was meant to be this kid, because this kid's like 15 or something, right? Or maybe even older, the blonde girl here. So I'm assuming that there's a younger sibling somewhere, because that was like literally like a baby, you know. So I don't know, I'm curious, unless they're gonna say this is a time jump, this is like a really big time jump, which is possible. You know, they could just say like, yeah, this is another, I don't know, 7 years later or something. I don't know, however, you know, 15 years later. No, probably not 15. That'd be too big of a time jump, right? Yeah. Anyways, yeah, look, I'm always gonna anticipate a new Scream movie. I'm you know, I'm curious as to what they're gonna do with it, but part of me is going into this one with like, man, I wish this just wasn't so compromised. You know, like, I wish like we could have just gotten the movies as they had intended to be, instead of this like, oh, well, real world stuff happened, and so now we have to do this, and then something else happened, so now that writer's gone, and that director's gone, and these actors are gone, and this, I'm like, and so now we have just like this, whatever's left, you know. And I'm like, man, I wish I could have known what they were planning to do. Maybe one day we will see that vision, you know, like I said, it's not possible that we somehow reconcile everything, but right now it's like, okay, let's have a more personal, I'm going after Sydney movie. So, you know, we're probably going to get our interesting cameos and retcons and all that stuff. So here we go. Let me know what you guys think, who you guys think it's going to be, who's coming back. Do you already know the casting that I'm talking about? Because it seems really obvious when, like, once you know who's in this movie, it's like, well, that's got to be what it is, right? Unless they're gonna like really throw us for a loop, then it feels like we all already know what's happening here. You can look that up yourself if you want to know. But anyways, let me know what you guys think, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.